Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to share with you the HMO myth. 5 HMO caveat that people are saying about HMOs. And again, I'm a HMO landlord myself, as well as HMO rent-to-rent landlord. So I know what the HMO market is like. I know what it is and what negativity people are saying about it. So I just want to go through these 5 things. So again, you don't let these 5 things stop you from investing in HMOs or to take your property investment journey to the next level. So people are saying, number one thing people are saying, HMOs are more work than a single let buy-to-let property. Yes, HMOs are a lot more hard work than buy-to-let or single-let property. Correct, one HMO is more work than one single buy-to-let property, but if you look at the income it generates you, if you create a HMO property, one HMO property will generate you a net profit of 5 to 6 buy-to-let properties. Again, you may be having a bit of work to do there, but the return on your investment compensate you handsomely for having to do that extra work, because obviously having one property would generate you money as if you own 4 or 6 buy-to-let properties. Again, that's one of the benefits you get from it. And again, now we've got estate agencies out there that will manage the property for you, and you don't really need to worry about it being hard work or not. Okay, the second caveat is you need lots of money to invest in HMO. Yes, you do require to have lots of money to invest in HMO. If you're buying a HMO, especially if you're going to convert that property, you're going to take it from a C3 to C4. It requires work, it requires investment, but it doesn't mean it has to be your own money, right? You could actually get a joint venture partner, someone who would borrow you the money to actually do the works, or you can joint venture with a builder who will do the work for you, or you can get someone else to actually come in as an investor who will put that money in. And again, if you don't have that money, actually you don't need lots of money. If you don't have money to actually buy it, convert it, renovate it to a C4, you could actually take on a HMO properties on a rent-to-rent basis. Take a HMO property, you can do it as a purchase lease option deal. Again, you don't need that money to actually buy it. You can take ownership, or you can take control of a property that worth 500,000, right, on a rent-to-rent basis. Again, it gives you kind of the similar return on your investment as well. So again, it needs money if you want to actually own and control the asset, but not necessarily if you're going to secure the property on a rent-to-rent basis, where you rent the property out on room-by-room basis and then you make the difference. The third caveat, every HMO needs a license. This is simply not correct. Technically, an HMO property is a property that has 3 or more unrelated people living in it. However, not all HMOs requires license. If your property in an area that doesn't require license, you don't need a license. However, you need to comply with the HMO rules. Actually, recently we had that scenario here in Cardiff where a very good friend of mine secured a property. We thought we needed a license, and the council told us we needed a license. After we've done all the works, then we realized really we don't need the license, right, if we were to rent the property out. So obviously, but it has to comply. And the government guidelines from October 2018 makes it very clear. If you have a property with 5 or more tenants, then you need an HMO license. So again, you go to your local authority, look what their definition is of HMO, and then basically go in that basis, right? If it needs a license, apply for it. It's not a deal breaker. HMO license, the council just want to make sure the property is safe to be rented in a multiple occupation basis. You're talking about fire alarms, fire doors, door strips, all the health and safety things. That's what they need to make sure the property has before you rent it room by room basis. And again, it's not really a deterrent. It's kind of helping you to actually protect your investment as well as the people that lives in the property. So again, you don't have to have a license depending on the locations where you're at. The fourth caveat is basically all HMO need planning permission. Again, this is not correct. Let me explain to you why. If you are acquiring a larger HMO with 7 or more tenants, it is no longer a residential property. It is, in fact, it has its own planning clause called sui generis. So in this case, you will need to apply for planning permission to change the use from a C3 use to C4 use instead of having it as a residential property. Again, that will put you in a better position as well. If you have smaller HMO, maybe HMOs that are less than 5 bedrooms, in most areas in the country, you could do the following. One, you can take a normal house. Basically, you don't have to apply planning. All you need to apply for is for permitted development. And again, some councils don't even require you to apply for planning permission. And some councils do not even require you to apply for permitted development as long as the property is less than 5-bedroom house. This means basically you do not need to apply for planning permission. However, if you are going to add an extra bathroom, or you're going to move the bathroom from where it is to another bedroom, you need to apply for something we call building control. Building control is a department within the planning department that would come and inspect what you do to ensure that you've done the actual installation correctly and is connected nicely to the soil pipe. So very important. Again, very easy. You can apply for that. It takes you about 10-15 minutes to actually apply for it, and then pay whatever fees they've asked you for. Once you're doing the installation, before you box anything, is get the planning official to come out, to come and have a look at the property. They will actually sign that off. They say that they're happy with it, and then they will issue something that we call the completion statement. And the completion statement is actually what allows you to kind of get a certificate to say you've done what you're supposed to do correctly. The fifth myth, basically, or caveat, is that there are oversupply of HMO throughout the UK. So everybody's doing it, so you shouldn't do it. Well, let's be honest, there are lots of HMOs out there. So in most areas, there might be a little bit of oversupply, but if you're looking at the stock, if you're doing your due diligence correctly, you'll be able to pinpoint the areas where there are no oversupplies of HMO, so you can start acquiring HMOs in those areas in order for you to be able to hit your target market. Again, even if you are in an oversupply HMO areas, if you can make yourself stand out, if you're building or renovating the properties to a good standard, to a better standard, maybe have an ensuite rooms, etc., your property would always rent, regardless what the market condition is. Whether it's oversupply or not oversupply, it would always rent, because obviously you will stand out among the crowd. So again, these are the 5 myths. Don't let this stop you from investing. This is just deterrent for people who are lazy, don't want to commit, who are fearful, don't want to take the risk, and obviously end up not investing. Again, don't let this stop you. Make HMO your investment strategy, because it will reward you handsomely than most of the buy-to-let strategies out there. And I really hope this video has been helpful. If this video has been helpful, don't forget to hit the like button below, subscribe to my channel for more tutorials. I look forward to sharing the next episode. Thank you so much for listening.